Barnathan with my very good friend Danny Beasley. Danny, it's so good to see you today, pal.
Good seeing you as well, Dr. Jack. How are you?
Outstanding, outstanding.
Good,
We
good.
had to invite everybody in because Danny and I are so passionate about, in a way, being ambassadors for a lot of things. Self-discovery is part of it, personal growth, even physical transformation, along with the spirit being in the lead. Uh, it's so important. And Danny and I were just talking about something that I think, because we've been intimately involved with the fitness professions and certifications and education, that personal trainers, Danny, personal trainers really should start thinking of themselves from a different perspective, not personal trainers counting to 10 or telling people do this or strutting bloated up and saying, oh, look at my biceps are bigger than yours, which sadly is too much of it, but instead becoming a word that you, I think, are associated and will be with your upcoming book,
hmm
becoming mentors and mentoring people instead.
hmm
Danny, if you could share a little bit about that, pal.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I think the whole personal training industry is about is the number one things about is actually a mentorship relationship. I just believe that if we can understand that a little bit more better and understand more of the principles of mentorship, it will give you, the thing that you speak about all the time is that edge in your business, your company, whatever it is, because you're incorporating more of the wholeness of you as you present yourself to your clients. Uh, that's a big thing, and it starts with actually the trainer or the professional developing that edge within themselves through how they view their service to others.
Yeah.
Um, and one of the thank God that I had a background already in helping people before I
Yeah.
I received my master's through your course, my master training cert through coming to your classes and taking the course that you offered. But prior to that, though, I had years of teaching and helping individuals, uh, find themselves within themselves,
Yeah.
and that was my edge while when I went into the service of helping the fitness side of a person develop. So it's all service, it's
Yeah.
all me presenting myself as a servant or my service unto another individual. And I think my biggest um, reward was understanding them as a whole and not just looking at them as a number or as a
Yeah.
something I gotta do to get the quota filled for that month or
Right.
or or you know uh, whatever it is as far as money motivated. Money always follows the purpose or the desire of a person's heart. So of course we should never be going after the money or the dollar signs for why we're doing what we're doing anyway. But that's a whole different story. But I just but to your point, Dr. Jack, and from what we were discussing, uh the understanding of understanding the spirit of mentorship will literally transform who you are,
Yeah.
which will allow you to understand the nuances of who it is you're serving. So my book, The 21 Essential Laws of Mentorship, really touches on a lot of those laws that govern this thing called mentorship. Mentorship is not even it's a word that came from the Greek poem Odyssey. Remember the you
Yep.
know, and so So the word mentor came from
Wow.
that play, but the actual art of what's taking place is a spirit of transfer from one individual to another. So it's not that you're transferring information about routines. If you develop an understanding of who they are, you start to transfer much more than the routines of an exercise. You start to transfer for laws that they will always be able to take with them wherever they go. No matter whenever they leave your site, they'll always retain the law of what they didn't have before. You know, one of the things I talk about in my book is the law of questions. You
Yeah.
know, people don't understand the power of what questions do, and they actually initiate things in a person's soul that go both ways. The first thing that in the Bible, the first thing that happened with man is that a question was posed to them that messed us up ever since, you know.
Yeah.
But what happened is, you know, one of the most powerful tools to either develop a person or deceive a person is a question. You know, and if you think about one of our, you
Wow.
know, greatest enemies out there, he uses a lot of questions to have you start to initiate
Hmm.
a process. So I show and I talk about how, you know, the power of questions, and how if you use the tool of a question right, it would actually invoke so many things in your client that elevates the workout to levels that they couldn't even understand, because you've gone beyond the body, and now you've initiated a drive that comes out of their spirit. You know, and most people don't take the time to understand the laws that govern this relationship between you and your client. There's a tapestry, there's a dance that has to happen in the spirit for you to find out the true reason why you're there. You're never there for the body. You're always there to tap into the spirit of a person. The body is just the Trojan horse for the profession. You know, it's just to get you in the door. You know, they're not coming to you really for the body. They're coming to you for a transformation of who they are. And but most people believe that you are your body, and that's the first part that you have to break down to them. You know, because a lot of self-esteem comes from what they see in their body. You know, that's why my first book, when I talk about, you know, you when you told me the story in the class, and you broke down how, you know, Michelangelo, he said he could see, he could see the, what was it, David in
David.
the stone.
Yep.
He could see him in the stone. And my book was written, the title of it, The Masterpiece Lies Within, came from that story you told me. It stuck with me so strong, because that is the tapestry of mentorship. That is the dance that that happens between the two individuals that are linked together. Even if you're with a group, you should be the one, that is actually allowing that spirit to flow through you, through understanding. You know,
Yeah.
there's a place in Proverbs says, my that people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You know, so the number one enemy when it comes to fitness is not necessarily them being in the gym. It's that they don't have the understanding or knowledge of the laws that govern their whole being. You
Yeah.
know, and it's up to us as professionals to take um our level of understanding up a notch, to start gaining the understanding of these laws, so that then when you go and speak to an individual, you're watching for triggers. You're watching for certain things. You know, you're seeing, you're seeing the different, the things that's coming out of a person's heart that you can respond to in a particular way of, and know what it is to address. You know, and
I
I
wow.
just think it's a something that you most people don't pay it. A lot of people, Dr. J, I'm sorry to be so long, but a
No,
lot of
this
people
is great.
a lot of people actually function out of the spirit of mentorship, but don't but you can function out of something but not actually develop it intentionally, in a sense, right?
Yep.
And my whole reasoning for writing this book is so that it's because I saw so many people in my circle not understanding who I was to them, and they didn't understand, and they didn't understand who they were when it relates to me. And I've saw so many people do things that violate these laws that are between the
Yeah.
two individuals, and those are the things that if you just develop it and understand it, your level of who you are as a person just elevates, and that elevation is actually what pours over to the next individual that you're standing before.
It's so beautiful, Danny, the way you just put it. And yeah, when, if everyone hasn't already, get on Amazon, get a copy. The masterpiece lies within. It's magnificent. And yes, the fact when Danny sent it to me and I saw the cover, I'm like, oh wow. Yeah, Michelangelo looked at this imperfect piece of marble. It had a crack in it, and the owner of the quarry had it in the back because they were just, it was going to be a pillar, a column for a building, but it cracked, and they figured up, can't use it, dump it in the back. And he looks in there and looks, and he says, I see his elbow. My David is in there. And
Wow.
he started from there, and where he's holding his sling up there, that was the elbow. That was the start. And
Mm.
if we are now, with what you're saying, Danny, and even with mentorship, and you just reminded me, you had mentioned that once before about the Odyssey, and that there was a character in there named Mentor, but he was a
Mhm.
trusted advisor. He was such a trusted advisor that the name stuck. And that's
Right.
just such a cool thing. And I think we
Mhm.
all, we started this talk about fitness, but I think it just went into something so much bigger, so many things so much bigger. Wow.
Mhm.
Everyone, Danny Beasley, get a copy of The Masterpiece Lies Within. Uh, get on his Instagram page, get in the conversation. Danny, thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you, Dr. Jack. Good seeing you.